All right, Terry. This video is pretty much for my little brother Joe. I told you I'll show you how to make these little cauliflower tacos. Super simple. Cause can't have you getting kicked out of the house because you don't know how to cook, bro. So this video is strictly for him. I don't know if anybody else see it and you know a different way to do it, by all means do it. I'm just showing them my way. So pretty much just to get started with it, what I got here is some already pre-cut coleslaw. Super simple, you ain't gotta worry about cutting it yourself. And normally I would do a salsa and everything with it. So what I would do is I would cut my tomatoes differently, but I would chop those, chop up down my onions. I would chop up my tomatoes, cilantro, jalapeno, so on and so forth. But tonight I want to do it a little different. Just mix it all in the coleslaw and see how it goes because it's all gonna be mixed in there anyway. So that'll be new on me. So just to even kick it off, so we got that, right? That's for the coleslaw. Then I got my wet, this is egg here. So pretty much I got my egg. I'm gonna dip my cauliflower in there. So I already got my cauliflower already kind of picked up. This is only half a head. So I think with you guys, you may be able to use the whole one, all right? But I'm gonna show you a way to get Lily to eat cauliflower without knowing she's eating cauliflower, all right? So what else we got? So my egg is pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blanch. Blanching these is essentially, I know you don't know what blanching is, so blanch is I'm gonna put it in the hot water for a couple of minutes, take it out, hit it with some ice on top. Basically you put it into an ice bath. So I'm gonna just pretty much dump cold water and ice on there. That's gonna slow down the cooking. So basically it's tender, it's still kind of crisp, all right? So it ain't super soggy. Once I do that, normally we'll have flour and I'll dip it in the flour, then the egg, and then my seasoning. But I don't have any flour right now, obviously, because everybody's spazzing out and they bought all of it. So I'm gonna make do with what I got. So it's still super simple. All right, so got my boiling water over here so that I can blanch. So essentially the boiling water, got my water going. I even take a little salt. This is salt. You can season it moderately, man. Essentially you want your boiling water to be like seawater. You know, you want it to have that salty taste. So when you're doing stuff like pastas and all that and you're boiling it, season your water. That way your pasta, your rice, whatever isn't bland. All right. So then I take the rest of this, well not the rest, but a nice little portion, and I'm gonna season this. Now the reason I do that is because the salt is gonna pour that moisture out, all right, in that coleslaw mix. So that's gonna kind of be good for what I got going on towards the end. This, like I say, it's just coleslaw mix. And we're gonna do it a little different. My hands were already clean before I started all the way. So, since I had this extra stuff in the refrigerator, I'm tossing this in mine. Now, when you do yours, if you don't wanna do it, by all means, you ain't got to. But it's onions. Got my tomatoes. Then we use my cilantro. And then I saved some cilantro for the end so that I can pretty much hit it. So I'm gonna sit that right there. My jalapenos, and I still kind of keep everything whole because I like to, you know, taste the bigger pieces in there. I don't want it to be all minced up. Got your nephew over here doing nothing, looking at me like he can't anyway. Alright, so then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my lime. The lime, you pretty much just want to get the juices going, so you want to, you know, get the juices going. So you just roll it a few times, you'll feel it going. So like this one is pretty firm. I just take the palm of my hand and just roll it a few times. And just loosening them up, the juices, so when you cut it, it's like a waterfall. Alright, so take that half, down, squeeze it. Alright, that's what I use with that one. Now, if you don't have a juicer, don't get the tripping. Simply take a fork, put it in there, twist it. Alright, the best tools in the house are these. Take these. that in there. Bam, just like that. I can taste that saltiness already. You just slide it in the refrigerator till you're ready to eat. It's that easy. All right. Of course, as Jalen says, all chefs clean as they go. I like to preserve just a couple because I like to eat as I go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take my cauliflower here and put that into the hot boiling water. So I'm gonna crank my heat up some more. Let me give it a few more minutes since I still see a little salt starting to cut off now, so I'm gonna give it just a few more seconds. Like I said, it's not going to be long at all. You might get about a minute or two. Alright. So I'm going to let that rip for about 2 minutes, at least till we get to the tenderness that I like. Alright, so till then, don't go nowhere. And one thing I wanted to tell you, man, was when it comes to blanching, I know I told you to put it in there for a few seconds, but I'll give you a little rule of thumb. Pretty much the more flimsy your food is, let's say like broccoli or so, broccoli isn't as crisp as maybe cauliflower, honestly. So broccoli, I may only blanch it for about a minute, but the more firm it is, then you know you want to go a little bit longer. So I may do broccoli for about 2 minutes, hypothetically saying. So with cauliflower, which is a little bit thicker, I would probably go about 4 to 5 minutes. So you just kind of gotta watch that as you're blanching it and you mess with it. You know, you'll mess with it and you'll figure out what works for you. But yeah, I like my stuff kind of not hard crispy, but you know, a little soft but still got a crisp to it. So that's why you take it out and then dump it right into the cold water so it can kind of firm back up. So I at least wanted to say that part before we wait. All right. So it's pretty much at the consistency that I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out, get it into some nice cool water. All right. Now this is the part where if you got ice or so, put it in the ice or so, but I know just hit it with cold water, pretty much stops everything. Now I'm gonna drain it. Alright, so we'll let that sit for a second. Now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. This is the star of this show. Cauliflower. Use one as my pre and one as my after. So once I'm done cooking it, obviously all black folks be sitting on a paper towel. So for my seasoning, I kind of go the lazy route tonight. I'm a fan of Louisiana. So this is pretty much what I use. You use whatever you want to use, but This is kind of my go-to when it comes to frying anything that's, you know, fish, any vegetables that I want to have kind of that fish taste. That's my go-to. All right. So this will be the part. Let's see this little guy right here. This would be the part that if I had flour, I would take it while it's wet, put it into the flour, put it into the egg, then into the seasoning. All right. Could be too many steps for some people, but that's just kind of the way that we do it. But today we're gonna cheat. Like I said, I don't have flour, so I'm gonna take it, put it in the egg. In the beginning, I normally try not to crowd it. Now, something else that you can do, you can season this. I normally season it with, actually, you know what, let's do it this time. Got a little bit of garlic. What is my teaspoon? So I'll probably do about a teaspoon, right? Now, I love garlic. I love onion, I love garlic. So is my crazy family, so I'm gonna go with a heaping of that. Right into there. Like I said, just minced garlic. You can mince it up yourself if you got it. A little pepper. Not too much because this already has something in there, so you don't want too much, but again, I love pepper. So, a little of my salt. A little bit of salt. Not too much. As I tell the boys sometimes, you gotta taste your seasoning. So as crazy as that sounds, you gotta like literally pinch it. You need to taste it and see how salty it is. Because if that's salty, you don't want to add too much salt in there. All right? That's about the right amount of salt for me. All right, but it's a little towel. I don't want to keep using my paper towel. Can't go wrong with a big green egg. All right, best tools in the house. Let's mix them up. You're gonna take it out. So what I try to do is I use this hand for wet, this hand for dry. Now, if you don't have egg, honestly, you can really use anything. I've used beer, I've used water. I just need anything to kind of wet it so that the seasoning will stick to it. But it's a lot better if it's a little bit thick. You take this hand. Super, super simple. Now me, I like to get greedy sometime and double coat it. Just because I like a little extra crunch. And not all the time does, when you put it back in there, does the seasoning come off. Sometimes it's still on there, so. Man, just like that, it's seasoned. So take it, transfer it to there. You know, and I could be top chef right now and going the traditional route, but hey man, we quarantined and we're kicking it, so we're gonna do it my way. Let's see how you both damn hands because I'm trying to hurry up. Now one of the things about doing it with sticky hands, you'll keep doing it and then you'll start noticing that you got a lot of clumps in your batter. It's because probably your hands were too sticky and you start making it. If you have enough batter, it's cool, but if you're limited on batter, like I say, you want to use this hand and then this hand for something different. I just use both. Grease is definitely hot. So now, take these bad boys. I just like to put them on myself. Kind of keeps the grease from popping up on you. Then that is a vegetable, and it's technically already cooked. It don't need much time at all. It just really needs the seasoning to cook. Once the seasoning is cooked, it's perfect. All right. You don't have to let it sit for a long time, and it's a vegetable. You can eat it raw. Think too much into it. You do just want to give it a nice golden brown. Pretty much, I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty much the consistency we want. Me personally, I just like mine a little bit more darker, but I'm a little different from these clowns that eat with me, so. So right now, this is pretty much how it's gonna look, all right? Almost look like fish nuggets, chicken nuggets. Now you can use chicken seasoning, you can use your own seasoning, you can do whatever you wanna do for whatever taste profile that you're going for. Me personally, I wanna kinda do it like a fish taco, so that's why I went with the fish seasoning. But once I'm done with all of these, I'm gonna spruce half of these up in a buffalo sauce. So now, you know what I'm saying, if we want it spicy or if we want it regular, we got that option. All right, so I'm gonna cook the rest of these and I'll hit you back. All right, so while that's cooking and everything, gotta make sure you clean as you go. So, like I said, I just wanted to do this video, man, to show you a little something, because can't have you being out there and not know how to cook nothing. So, if anybody else slide to this channel and you're going, well, that ain't the way my mama do it, and I ain't your goddamn mama, man. Go ahead. Do it my way. Like I say, you can get the nieces to eat this and they won't even know that they're eating vegetables. Story. After my mom had that brain surgery not long ago, I was trying to switch up her diet to get her to eat a little bit healthier because my mom should eat meatloaf and mashed potatoes every day if I let her. So I wanted to switch something up and do it different. So I wound up doing this. And I did it, and I think, what was it taco that night? Basically, we did it in I told it was buffalo chicken. I told her it was buffalo chicken. Because initially when I bought the cauliflower, I was like, I'm gonna make cauliflower. She's like, I don't eat cauliflower. Just like a little kid, you know. So I wound up whipping it up, made it. She ate it, swore every bit of it was chicken. I didn't tell her like 2 days later. So, I bet she's listening. So it's so simple to get them to eat it without even knowing they're eating it. this one in on box if you want. Now, one of the other things I do, it's like when I take some out, I like to give my grease a few more seconds, basically to get back up to temp. Because a lot of times when you take it out and then you put more cold stuff in there, it's just going to drop the heat. Once it drops the heat, that's pretty much a wrap because it's just going to wind up steaming whatever you got in there instead of frying it. So just let the temperature get back up some, and then drop in your next batch. This one isn't too bad. I can still see that it's hot. So I think they say rule of thumb is you want to start seeing a little smoke, not a lot, but a little bit of smoke coming up. Once that happens, you know that it's definitely hot. If you don't have a thermometer, that is, to test it. Honestly, most of us ain't got no damn thermometer to test it. So. But like if you drop it in there, and you don't hear that right away, then that means that it's not hot enough, so you might want to wait a little bit. Just give it a few seconds, all right? You're pretty quick on the draw, so just pump the brakes a little bit. Matter of fact, got a beer in there. Might as well share a beer with my brother. Just because we quarantine don't mean we can't have a drink together. Hey, you fellas want a drink?
Oh, yeah.
It's open bar. Yeah, I want my little can open. Bottle open. So my heat was hot, but I wanted it a little bit hotter. So I'm gonna let them two cook real quick. Meantime, same time, got a tecate in there. Take a while to hit on that. Since we get to go on our 420 trip, maybe we just have a little bit of 420 food. Cold. Poor champion of 99. I won all tournaments. All right, let's start these most moving now. Always have a whole bunch of little pieces. You want to cook them, you can. It's be getting on my nerves. So, what are other meals that I made this with? I've done mushrooms. Almost mushrooms the exact same way, a little bit different. I use like an oyster mushroom, and then I'll fry them up and taste. Put it on a po' boy. You couldn't tell them that they wasn't real oysters. They're called oyster mushrooms, obviously not real oysters. But once you cook them up, they look and taste just like them, if you do it right. So you can really do this with, I'm not going to say anything, but like I said, I do cauliflower, do mushrooms.
Wait, so now we had those po' boys. Those are shrimp?
No, those mushrooms. Yeah, you ate mushrooms, so you know how you always like you don't eat mushrooms? And I'm like, okay, I'll get you to eat it. Well, now you know. They were mushrooms. It's a little white daddy kitchen lie. But anyway, I can't stop eating. So as a person that cooks in food, you always got to taste your food. Always. So as I just tasted it, they were pretty good, but still got to have one with some hot sauce. Truly bright till you eat your food with hot sauce. Well, I'm not going to try to back out of them. They are delicious. So I was just telling the boys, probably next time I'll blanch them And then I'll put them in, like for me, I kind of like the pickle taste, pickle onions and all these things. So I'll probably blanch them, so it's gonna be hot. And then I'll put them in like cold pickle juice. So you can kind of suck in some of that flavor as they cool off. Then I'll batter them, then I'll fry them. So now it kind of gives it like a pickle consistency. And for me, I like that. Now for anybody else, they may not, so you may not want to do that. Almost like when I told you about the pickleback, the drink, Jameson chase it with pickle juice. I love it. Your ass didn't love it, so guess we different on that aspect. But hey, salute. All right. All right, so that's pretty much that. So what I had was, what's that? Did I bring it downstairs? All right, so just the other day, I made some and I used the buffalo sauce. So instead of making a new one, I just used this one. But pretty much what it is I use some of that Frank's Red Hot. Frank's. We put this on everything. Well, I got Frank's. Now granted, I'm a Louisiana man, so that's my go-to. But this is pretty much this. I use some honey, probably about about this size. I would probably use about two teaspoons of honey. For me, this isn't spicy, but for some of these numbnuts in here, it kind of is. So I use the honey to kind of sweeten it up, counteract some of that heat. What else I put in there? Honey, a little bit of butter towards the end, kind of thicken it up a little bit. Not a lot. So if you're doing something about this, probably about the same, maybe about a teaspoon or two of butter. Once you heat it, so you heat this up, you put however much honey you want in there. It's up to you. And once it starts to cool down, I hit it with a little bit of butter and mix that all that in. Let's let it thick up a little bit. So this already has that in there. Yours, you work yours however you want to work it. So I'm gonna slap this in for about a minute. All right. Now, I already know how we're gonna eat it. It's probably gonna be more spicy than mild, so I'm gonna put a good number in there. Get that big guy. There we go. So we'll leave these guys mild. So you ever heard that saying that a little goes a long way? Well, that's how this is. I don't even need the whole thing. Use this guy. Just enough. I normally just put it around it. Not on it, but around it mostly because you put it on it, I would say it kind of welches it quickly. So you put it around it, and then toss it. Then you adjust it from there. This is probably normally the part where people look at this and be like, oh, I would have loved to seen this and that. And I don't give a shit. This is what we want. So, So to recap, because I know you're slow. We got the Franks. Like I say, it's, I think, what, 4 or 5 of y'all, so about 2 cups. Because that should give you some left over depending on how many you do. But you got your Franks, you got your honey, and you got your butter. You can add lime juice, lemon juice, you can, whatever. If you want to add a little whiskey or something in there, that's fine. Normally what I do, I may put a shot in there, burn off the alcohol, let it cook. So the alcohol is burnt off, but you still got the alcohol flavor, if that makes sense. So that's how when you go to restaurants and they got like a Jack Daniel bourbon sauce or whatever, the alcohol is more than likely cooked off. So you still get that flavor, but you don't get drunk. So that's that. So now, I take some of these, just a little bit, not all. And I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of that cilantro. Toss it in. Y'all even gonna eat now?
Nah, I'll probably eat them hot.
You say eat them hot or not?
Hot.
Well, you eating them out? I don't know. We ain't living like weenies tonight, man. We're going all in. All the way in, baby. So, that being said, a little bit more sauce. I'm not even gonna act like I ain't gonna eat that. Try to make a run for it. So I'm gonna leave that in that. And honestly, bro, that's almost it. Gotta take a union break. All right. So we got these guys. This phone right here. Just stand up. I don't know if you can see, but it's been kind of almost wilted down some. That's because that salt pulled out the moisture in a lot of that. All right. So how it was here, put that salt on there. That salt pulls out the moisture, so it shrinks down. Just in case you didn't know that. If you knew it, I ain't trying to insult your intelligence, man. So normally when you go to like a taco place, you got everything kind of broken down. That's normally how I do it, but tonight I'm just like, you know what? I put everything on top of it anyway, so I'm gonna show you a new trick. Well, it ain't a new trick, but it might be a new trick to you. So get a little aluminum foil. Now, I did not cover this, and the reason I didn't cover that is because if I cover it, especially with aluminum foil, it's going to soak in, it's basically going to keep all that moisture in. And where does all that moisture go? It's going to go into these. So it already has sauce on it, and then that moisture is going to become soggy. So now we're going to kind of toast. I'll show you. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm gonna use all these. So simple. You just take it. Now normally, I might hit it with a little bit of Pam. And it's not gonna kill you. And I set it right there. I don't know if I got my tongs down here. So, I have to use chef hands. Just want like a little light sip. You don't want to burn it. Just want to get a little char on it. A lot of times you get to cooking it, you start seeing it bubble up. You can go ahead and snatch it on off now. Right? So like that, that's perfect. To me, that's perfect. So again, if you more. Now this is flaming, so you put it over that fire you want to. Now, in case you're scratching your head going, oh man, he's spraying Pam on there. It's no different if you spray it in your pan and then put your food in there. Same exact thing. I'm just utilizing it to have a little bit more char. That's definitely gonna be mine. I like mine like that. Like a little bit of crunch to it with that char. You can also take these and fry them when you go to Mexican restaurants, and as soon as you get in, they give you the free chips and dip. Just basically cut them up, drop them in grease. That's the chips. I like this kind. Almost like Doritos. Now, also what I'm gonna do is again, I just cut out the middleman. Just take sour cream, because obviously that's always at the end, but you can also mix that into here. So now you got all your elements in there. You just cut out the middleman. So, we get all these cooked up, and I'll be back. All right. So, real quick, so sour cream. So run down everything that we pretty much had. We had cauliflower, we utilized cilantro. For my salsa, pretty much, like I said, I used what I had in the freezer, but I would normally probably use it anyway, which was tomato. I used 1 tomato, 1 onion. I had some ginger. Now, I just tasted it. I had a few things of ginger from when we juiced the other day, kind of left over, so I threw that in too. Hell, that shit pretty fire. That's fire. So I basically took the ginger, cut it into real thin strips, real thin, and I just threw it in there just like everything else. So it's almost like when you bite, there's gonna be a bite where you're like, what was that? You know, and that's what you want. I call that a orgasm. So you know, you ever bit something and go, oh my God, what is that? That's called an orgasm. When the eyes roll back in the back of the head, it's a wrap. All right, so real quick, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of plate one of these up. Come quarantine plates, so paper plates. I don't want to hear no shit about paper plates. But I did tell you I was going to mix some of this sour cream into here to kind of give it a thick consistency. So it'll pretty much almost be like coleslaw, you know. But it has a kick. So we got lime, we got the lime, we got tomatoes, we got cilantro, we got ginger, we got jalapenos. So that lime kind of gives it a nice flavorful kick. So I want to take this sour cream, not a lot, since I'm using a fork. That's probably about good. So I'm gonna say that's probably about a teaspoon and a half. And I take it. I use the fork. So now it's gonna give it kind of a creamy consistency, and that's cool. You gotta keep in mind, we got the salt that's in here that's pulling out all the liquids. You got your jalapeno in there for a little kick. You got a little ginger in there for a little kick. So instead of that traditional coleslaw, kind of got one funky, your big brother way. And again, your hands are your best tools, but I don't want to go through it right now. Stop. I think you want to slap your mama. Alright, so we're going to take one of our toaster roll. Use this guy here. So we're simply just going to take a little bit. And just plate the old lady plate for her, obviously. Again, That's honestly about good. Maybe on the next meal I get super professional or something. I don't know. A little cheese. Now none of this is hot, so it's not like the cheese is gonna melt. But it's a taco. Can't have a taco with no cheese. And there's nothing for y'all. A little bit of cilantro to hit it with. And fam, that's it. That's essentially it, bro. So, as they always do on TV, so I already plated up. Okay, you see that? So essentially got it going. You got everything in there. You got your cheese, you got your coleslaw, you got your cauliflower, toasted tortilla. Alright, so like I said, that's pretty much everything right there. You got it kicked up. Now you can funk it up however you want to. You may do it and make it 30 times better than mine. That's cool. You know, looking at this, you may make it better than mine. That's cool. You gotta hit me with the I would have did everything. Man, I don't give a shit. Alright. Give this bitch a try. Boy, that shit is good, boy. That's really it, bro. That's it. So like I said, you got your cauliflower, got your egg, got seasoning. You can use chicken seasoning. Give it a chicken consistency. What else? I mean, really, you just season it up however you want to season it. If you don't want egg, there's other things you can utilize, like I think it's like flaxseed or so. But you can utilize something. You can use pancake batter, anything to kind of give you a consistency so that the seasoning will stick. But yeah, that's it, man. So, let me say, you could take this. If I want to switch it up, I can really use either one of these. I can do it in the teriyaki. I can do it in the orange. Like I said, I did it in the buffalo. You do it however you want to do it. So you can fry these up. You can season them in one of these. Put it with some rice, pasta, zucchini noodles. Whatever you want to do, man. It's limited. Like, it's your kitchen. You can do what you want to do. All right, but you want to take this. You just want to cook it to a consistency where it's not super crunchy. You don't want your heat up super high. I should have told you that earlier. You do not want your heat up super high. You probably want it on a medium, especially something like this. It's a vegetable, so it's technically already done. So just keep it on about a medium until you get the color you want, a golden brown, and then that's a wrap. All right. So again, salsa, onions, tomatoes. Like I said, you got green peppers, you got jalapenos, you got all of that. You can cut all that up pretty fine. Or you can put it in a food processor or a blender. You can cut it up, have it look like a dipping sauce. I like kind of a looser one. You know, I like to taste my tomatoes and stuff, so I leave it about like that. Yeah, that's about it, man. Like, I'm really tired of talking because I'm about ready to dig into this bitch. All right, that's that one. I don't know, maybe later this week I have the boys cook and we'll do chicken because since you effed up that chicken, we'll do chicken. Or something, you know. But that basic cooking, the chicken and pork chop, like that really bores the hell out of me. So we'll probably do something, keep it super simple, but it won't be nothing extremely hard, all right? All right, so other than that, love you, dude. Anybody else that's watching though, you can definitely check us out. Hey, it's my company, Life Behind the Beard. Sells some awesome beard products for men. Got some women grooming products as well, hair oils, body butters. So please check us out if you're new to it. But other than that, this video was for you, bro, so love you, man. Peace.